I just want to ask you a question, if you don't mind. We confirm that we don't know what was sent to MediSurant.
Richard said no. That we know how many pages was sent.
Right.
But we don't know offhand exactly what documents were sent.
That is like, I'm hoping you're willing to work with me. Can you just at least tell me if the situation, they have those private conversations, could you please consider possibly writing a letter to get them out if they have them? This is a if they have them kind of situation.
I got to end the call now. I gave you the number for the Community Health Law Project. Those are the folks that know all the legalities. They'll explain it to you in layman's terms. They won't need to see anything on your behalf. They won't need to do anything you don't want them to do on your behalf. Those are the folks that will be able to help you further. I just want you to know, and I'm sorry if it sounds harsh, you've been a client of us for a long time. We won't be writing any letters. This is your insurance company. You're the one that's going to have to deal with this. And we're here for you for other mental health needs. Richard will be back in touch with you at some point to give you, a status on that. But otherwise, the ball's in your court. And we wish you the best of luck, Scott. Give Community Health Law Project a call. I think you may feel a little bit better listening to them and getting some guidance, okay?
Yes. Okay. I do want to communicate with you in the future.
Feel free to call, but we can't get calls all day long, okay? Take care of some of these other things, and we wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry you feel so upset, but you have some ideas of how to go forward, and you've started that process again. Good for you. We wish you the best of luck, and let's take it from there, okay?
All right.
Here, Scott. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So, Scott, I want to start with, I guess I would start with this, Scott. I really would say this, and I do mean this, that I'm sorry that you feel like you haven't had a good relationship with us.
I had a good relationship.
All right. I'll just finish my thought, because I am really certainly trying to defer to you as a customer of ours, that we don't like when customers don't feel like they've been treated well, and we do the best we can.
Yeah.
I would say that we really do feel like we went above and beyond, and because we did want to do the right thing, we felt like we did, and I understand that you still don't feel so happy about it.
No. The situation is where we left off, is there's a fine difference between conversational notes and notes that can be released. There are a designated record set. What was released was session notes. Richard Thomas said he wrote those notes with the idea that they're never to be released to insurance, that they're in-house records. And so those records got included. But so much has happened since I spoke to you last that I'm not sure. But I want to be clear, I'm not dissatisfied with your service. I'm very upset that this company received highly confidential private conversations. And that's it. Other than that, I was very pleased. Unfortunately, Richard Thomas, through the course of getting answers out of this, became actually upset with me, and I actually don't blame him, but I'm still trying to work the issue. The authorization that you've supplied, and Richard Thomas has read back to me, does not cover what was actually sent. So what that applies to is PHI, Protected Health Information. And protected health information is defined as identifiable health information. Conversation notes are not covered under protected health information.
Hey, Scott, let me interject again, trying to just keep us on like a point of time here. Are you taking any medication right now? Like, I believe you were being prescribed medicine, but my understanding is you're not really taking it.
So I have a year's worth of the medication Cecilia has written.
And that means you've just been getting the scripts but not taking it?
No, they've been fulfilling the prescription.
Are you taking the meds?
Yes.
If and when you come back, and it sounds like you want to come back, and we're willing to have you come back, the thing that I won't be able to allow is you won't be able to see Richard Thomas anymore, and you're not going to see Cecilia. So if you want therapy, we're going to give you another therapist. And, you want to come back and see a doctor, it'll be a new doctor. We just hired a new doctor, and you would see that person, Scott. He's a great guy, been in the field a while.
I understand Richard Thomas. I'm comfortable with Cecilia. Is there some issue that she's not comfortable with me?
Yeah, it's an administrative decision.
Okay, well, just so you know, I don't know, you could tell me why you feel administratively I can't follow up. I think my last visit was somewhere in May. Was it May? Yeah, it was May. Unless she has some objective, I would prefer seeing her. I'm just got comfortable with her services.
Well, let's do this. Can we get you to commit to come in and meet the new doctor?
I'm very serious about my request I hand-delivered to you. That is the history of what happened with all these records, in addition to getting them out of now, because that's and again, it doesn't have to be overnight. I mean, I gave you the request. This way, you have the time to take, I don't have, my renewal for is about a year from now. I'm not looking for a rush job. I'm just looking for a correct job. I'm confident that that needs to be corrected, and I'll do this with Kara Wapner.
Hey, Scott, you have all the control and all the power, except in terms of continuing at Centerstone. I'm really sorry the relationship hasn't worked out. If you would like, at some point now or in the future, we could give you numbers to call.
No. I will not need Centerstone for directory information.
Okay.
But I would prefer that my treatment continue. You didn't give me explanation why you didn't want me to see Mrs. Rebeth or Cecilian Rebeth, and I didn't push you on that issue. And it seems like you just take a little at a time away from my care, and all I want to do is try to correct the situation. You're still on the same original plan, which, by the way, is because of the ramifications not from me, but rather Aetna and Novolon, and the history behind these records and the content of the records. Then you have, So the thing is I think, you've made up your mind without taking into consideration of the other things. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call Kara Wapner and just continue with what we originally planned on. Because I know I'm not going to get, I asked a question, I never get them. I wrote letters in the past, you've never answered any of them. I must tell you, I received, when this really started in 2013, I receiving anonymous calls, some from Aetna, some from Novolon, about conditions, understandably, large amounts, and I find out in the records, Kathy Korenzik is writing these things down. So instead of responding to my letters, she notes down about the letters. I had to find out this stuff in line at the office. It's real embarrassing to get my private conversations in the office. All I'm trying to do is work it out with Karen. I'm not going to...
Okay, good luck with that, okay, Scott? We can't keep going down the same road. I'm really sorry. I wish we could help you more.
Well, actually, you can help me more.
Yeah, the conversation's going to end, Scott, now. I think it's probably the best idea that you talk to Karen and see what other options
Well, the options I'm working with her is to correct the actions that you made, and I don't think this is terribly complicated. I think it's just a question of understanding what happened and just, the problem is not me.
Hey, Scott, well, it's clearly a problem of the relationship, and it's not working, and we've tried, so we're going to send you something in writing.
And then why is it that Vincent had good meetings with me the first two, except for the last one?
Scott,
And then 7 years of me going to UCPC, all suddenly it's a relationship thing. I would just communicate with Kara Wapner, but if you want to send me anything in writing, that's fine.
Okay, Scott, we got to go. We have another appointment. I'm really sorry, but Karen will help you as best she can.
Well, I hope we can come back to, not jumping to conclusions. I hope that...
I just want to be clear, Scott, that we're going to be closing your case for the inability for us to get on the same page with your care, and we're going to do anything we can to work with the state to make sure if you need something else, you have it, but that close the decline here.
The thing I need is those conversations, as promised by Richard Thomas, as he's verbally told me in recording, that those were his privilege control.
Scott, one more time. I have to go. We've spoken for about 15 minutes now.
All right. As I said, I'm still working. Still working, willing to work with you. That's all I could say.
All right.
Bye-bye now.